You are now entering the world of Musings of a Geek podcast network. Stay geeky, my friends.
Geek Speak, the definitive 365 cut. These are the meaningless ramblings of a Scottish redone whore and a pissy ex-video store clerk. Their ongoing mission is to set right the movie wrongs. They're gonna need a bigger podcast.
Yay, episode 8. Hello 365ers and welcome to the 365Flicks podcast. This is episode 8 and this week we're going to talk news roundup obviously first because that's the way forward. Chris, you seem to think there's a lot in the news.
I've got quite a lot to talk about, I won't lie.
You got a lot to talk about.
I've got a lot to talk about.
I know you said you thought that would be the big portion of the podcast, so you have got a lot.
Yeah, I've got a dose of stuff on my list that I added, and then I added more. So, yeah.
Well, you've had an extra week, so...
Well, exactly.
Isn't that right, Ash?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
And then from there, we're going to go to the Bat versus Bat. We're basically going to do, 5-way slobber knocker. We're going to go through all the Batmans, and I've got an intricate, complex scoring system set up here.
Oh, Jesus.
Wrong.
What was wrong with mine? Mine was nice and simple.
I didn't like yours because it was nice and simple. I think because we are 365Flicks, we have to battle it out. So basically it's going to be Adam West versus Keaton versus Kilmer versus the Nips versus Bale.
Right.
Miss anyone else? Oh yeah,
Well, no
Affleck.
BatFleck. We can't have BatFleck because we've not seen him yet.
He's still going to be the best though.
No, he's not.
We do know he's going to be the best.
George Clooney.
George Clooney, fuck off.
Yeah.
Right, first swear word, there we go, 1 minute in. Then from there, we were going to do a Will Smith sort of rant where Chris had a bit of a list. However, he totally chickened out.
No, I'd just rather speak about Star Wars is all.
Well, I suppose we...
Plus, you'd probably just, like you said, go, well, even after it.
Yeah.
All the way through it.
I would literally just bring up after every 2 minutes. But then, of
I
course...
did a top 5 list, but there was nothing that was going to get any rage going, really, so I kind of thought, well, what's the point of that?
Yeah,
my top, just out of interest, my top Will Smith film was Enemy of the State.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I like that. Anything with Tony Scott does, makes my
I thought you'd like that. See, that's what I mean. There's no point in doing it if it's not going to cause an argument, so...
I'd Will Smith.
I'm sure we could have came up with some arguments. However, we decided to drop that because Chris is a big pussy. And we decided we're just going to do like the future of Star Wars, what we're hoping for, what we want to see, what we don't want to see. Is that about right, Chris?
That's right. Well, one of the news items that I want to talk about, which we'll get to in a second, is the... oh, screw it. We'll just go on it now, eh?
Oh, I like that. Nice little segue there. I'll tell you something. We are 8 episodes in and we are getting so much more professional because you're dropping segues now.
I'm happy with that. So moving swiftly on then. So the first news topic I want to talk about is that the first of the Star Wars spin-offs has been announced. It's going to be called Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Rogue One. And it's going to be arriving in December 2016, being directed by Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards?
Yeah.
And who the fuck's he? What's he done?
Directed Godzilla.
Oh my god. Come on. Jesus Christ, man.
I thought he was an Olympian or something.
I thought
what?
You thought he was an Olympian.
Aye, I'm sure there's a Gareth Edwards in the Olympics.
You're not thinking of Jonathan Edwards.
He was a long jumper, wasn't he?
We're a movie podcast, alright? We're not an Olympics podcast. Get away from that shit unless you want to talk about Munich. That's another time. So it's called Rogue One. Gareth Edwards. I totally missed this, you see, so you need to tell me something about this. Or is that all you have?
Well, that's all we know at the moment. It's Rogue One, which would suggest that it's going to be about, X-Wings and shit. I could cope with it. I was actually just watching Mr. Sunday Movies, and you phoned me and interrupted me talking about it, so I didn't really know what he was going on about, other than it's called Rogue One.
Supposedly the lead's gonna be a Felicity Jones. She was in The Theory of Everything.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
What, the lead?
Tatiana Maslany from Orphan Black.
The lead character. The main character is going to be Felicity Jones.
Supposedly.
So who's Rogue
One? When I saw the whole Rogue One thing, I thought, well, it's going to be about Wedge.
Well,
but,
yeah, that would be the logical conclusion.
You know, they're going to tell Wedge's story, but, well...
So are we talking prequel, are we talking sequel, are we talking...
We don't know.
Are we just talking on its own, or...
That's all we know is the title and director and that woman.
The guy that directed Godzilla. Did they actually watch Godzilla? Like, cause...
Well, see, we've had this conversation before, Kev. It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that good either.
It wasn't a patch on the Matthew Broderick one. Or is it too early to be going there?
Let's just... I've only had one beer, so let's just put that one to the side for now.
Shit, I've been ringing all day, which is why I was able to say that.
So yeah, that's why I wanted to ditch the Will Smith thing and talk about Star Wars, because I think that we need to have a talk. We need to have a sit down with 365ers and decide what we want from the Star Wars spin-offs.
Yeah, I totally see
that's our segment later on about Star Wars.
I totally see what you're talking about, because so far we've fucking whittled on about Marvel for days and days. We've had a little bit of DC stuff. We've done some directors, but let's be honest, so far we haven't really done Star Wars yet.
Not really, just the trailer.
Yeah, we just did the...
Not really a whole lot to go on, is there?
Yeah, but we could talk about what we want to see, who we want to see, there's still another spin-off to talk about.
Yeah.
We'll get into that, and I'm sure we'll come up with something, maybe. So Ash, what have you seen lately that piqued your interest?
Well, I've got to say, this will make you a bit wet. Like Kevin Smith is writing Mallrats 2.
Literally just read about it.
Aye.
And you're right, I totally spunked in my kegs.
I thought you might have.
Yeah, me. Aye.
So apparently Kevin Smith is he's finishing up Shoot Somebody first. Hit Somebody, the ice hockey film.
Right.
He's got Clerks 3. He's still finishing off Clerks 3, or he's not started Clerks 3. But yeah, I saw the tweet the other day where it said the schedule he's got for the next year, and then right at the end it says 2016.
I smell a rat or something.
I smell a rat. What a fucking legend.
I need to rewatch these movies because I can't remember anything about them.
What was that, Ash?
It says he's going to retire after doing Clerks 3, but it keeps getting postponed. He'll just keep doing and doing and doing.
The thing is, if you come out with a movie like fucking Tusk, you've got to keep going till you get that Oscar.
Or just redeem yourself.
Hey, Tusk was alright. It was good.
What shite, and you not.
It was good until he turned the guy into a walrus.
Oh, fuck me.
He did what now? What?
Don't ask.
Have you not seen Tusk?
No.
Biggest pile of shite ever.
It's like this really cool Kevin Smith movie where like Justin Long and Michael Parks do some back and forth, like really awesome dialogue-y banter, and then Michael Parks turns him into a fucking walrus.
And you get Johnny Depp in his fight role.
But they are making a spin-off of the Johnny Depp character.
I have no intentions of watching that at all.
Well, neither do I, but it's Kevin Smith.
I believe you're defending that pile of shite.
What, Tusk?
Aye.
Michael Parks was good in it, you know that.
Aye. Like you said, it was quite a decent movie until he fucking turned him into a walrus. And then it was just like, what the hell am I watching? I
do sometimes get the feeling that maybe Kevin Smith thought that, like, while he was writing it and while he was talking about it, he's like, I've got this really cool idea for a film. It's gonna be my Shawshank Redemption. And then he started directing it, and he probably got to that part and thought, yeah, this is my Howard the Duck.
Well, wasn't his Howard the Duck that bloody cop-out?
I refuse to defend cop-out. In the canon of movies that Kevin Smith has made, cop-out didn't happen. But yeah.
It did.
Clerks 3, super happy about. Mallrats 2, yeah, I'm down with that. I'm down with Mallrats 2.
Is he going to get BatFleck back in it?
Has to, man. Has to.
I think he'll be out of his price range now.
Ben Affleck will never be out of Kevin Smith's price range. That dude just works for him because he wants to.
I would agree with you, actually. Yeah, I agree with you, Kev. I think he'll do it.
Of course he will. It's fucking Ben Affleck.
Rude not to have anything.
Just get on your hands and knees now and suck him off.
Who made Ben Affleck's career? Apart from Matt Damon, who made Ben Affleck's career? The big thing I had, when I look back at my childhood, there's a few things that I like on TV. You saw the Power Rangers. You both watched it, didn't you? The,
I did, yeah.
The fan film.
Yeah.
Well, I want to take time to do the first ever 365's Fuck You, and I want to say fuck you to Haim Sabin, because that was a damn good film, and they was all like, oh, we're gonna take it down because you're ruining our... Fuck you, Haim Sabin.
Who the hell is that?
It's like the creators of Power Rangers, and they own the rights to the Power Rangers, and they threw they threw a hissy fit because that guy made like an awesome fan film, and it was bloody awesome.
It was good. It was very good.
Everybody
I was never a Power Rangers fan, but I did like that.
It was brilliant. It was Pacific Rim mixed with Godzilla on cocaine. It was just shit hot.
With a bit of Dawson's Creek chucked in there.
Oh no, come on, you cannot diss the Creek. You know, the Dawson was amazing in that. It was the first thing I said when he came on screen. I was like, holy shit, it's the fucking Dawson.
I was kind of watching it thinking, is that him? And then I had to ask you afterwards. But it was good. You know, yeah, it was.
So for those of you out there who don't know about this Power Rangers film, get your ass on YouTube.
Is it back up now?
Yeah, it's back up now. Get your ass on YouTube or Vimeo. Totally recommend you go to Vimeo because it's a little bit extra in the film. It's only like maybe half a minute, but it's still pretty badass. This guy, Adi Shankar, he just kind of throws money at decent directors and says, make something I want to see. And it is pretty fucking awesome. Like, Lionsgate want to be turning around and saying, yeah, this guy's, you know, let him write the movie. But they're not going to do that, are they?
Probably not.
That was my big thing. And I think from now on, every episode of 365, we should have a moment where we just get to say fuck you to someone. And this episode, I'm giving it to Haim Sabin, because you know what? Who really cared about a Power Rangers reboot until they watched that?
Definitely not me.
No, I didn't give two shiny shites, if truth be told.
But now you kind of do, because you could see where they could go.
You know what? I would watch it if it was like that short film. I would watch it.
But they'll be like, no, we don't want this creative genius to make that movie. Get Michael Bay in there, you know. But Ash wouldn't have a problem with that.
I just went into Meltdown there for a second.
You heard Power Rangers, you heard Michael Bay, and that was you done.
Yeah, I'm going to run for the wet wipes right now.
You were about ready to run away and just finish the podcast there. Dude's just dropped the Michael Bay.
My dreams have all came true.
So is there anything else we've seen? I mean, I've got a couple more things, but we'll go around the table.
I've got quite a few more. But actually, here's another segue for you. In the spirit of fuck you, I'd just like to mention that Alien 5 has been confirmed, and as 365Flicks called it, they're ignoring pretty much the events of Alien 3 and 4. So I'd just like to mention, fuck you, we called it, aha. Next.
That was like the best thing I've ever seen when I woke up and I went onto my Facebook and you shared that post and it was like, we fucking called it. Because we did call it.
We bloody did, yes, we did.
Well, I actually liked your turn of phrase when you says, let's just forget about 3 and 4 and let's be mates. And then you were like, and let's be honest, there's worse things you can do with Alien 3 and 4.
Well, I'm a very intelligent man, Kev, as you know. So
I love your modesty, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
On a different note, Chris Pine for the Green Lantern.
Yeah, I read that, Ash, yeah.
I haven't seen that, but I'm up for
that. But...
And it's a long way off, it's 2020 reboot.
Oh, it's all the way... So, See, what I immediately thought was, if he signs up for Green Lantern and starts appearing in DC films, are we going to lose him in Star Trek?
No, because surely any appearance he makes before the Green Lantern movie is just going to be, minimal.
But is he, every other bastard's in the Justice League movie, so is Green Lantern going to be?
Well, I would hope so.
Which means, if he signs up for, although I suppose you could say Zoe Saldana is in Marvel and Star Trek, so... Yeah.
What we think she is.
She is.
She is Uhura, and she is what's her name?
Yeah,
what's her name?
Zoe Saldana.
Aye, the green bird from Guardians.
Oh,
that's amazing. None of us can remember her name.
It is quite literally possibly my favourite Marvel movie so far, and I've got no idea what her name was. And the more I think about it, all I'm hearing is I'm Groot.
Who's supposedly not going to be in the next one.
What?
Aye, that's what I read today. Supposedly Groot might not actually be in the next Guardians of the Galaxy.
What, Groot or Vin Diesel?
I was reading it today, and it was like it was an interview with a guy who directed it, and he was saying, the baby Groot?
Yeah.
There was a bit that actually cut out of the movie where Groot was dancing, and he was doing this stupid dance, and Drax was pretty much saying, stop it or I'll kill you.
Right.
So that's why it goes back to the bit when it's baby Groot, and every time he stopped, and Drax was staring at him.
Mm-hmm.
supposedly had reference to that, but they thought it was too dark, so they removed it from the movie. But then there was another spoiler. He said, "Is that Groot or is that Groot's offspring?"
Fuck that shit.
Well, I'm just telling you what I read. That's what he said.
Gamora, by the way.
Gamora. That's it. Gamora. Nah, that's.
Yeah, I'm not happy with that at all.
Well, that's what the director was saying. I read it. Supposedly direct quote from him.
He's an arsehole.
Did you see his tweet the other day about not being at Comic-Con? He's saying that Marvel aren't going to be at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
How can you not have Marvel there?
Well, they kind of said that. I read the same thing, and they said that it's because they got beat by DC last year with the whole Superman trailer. The Batman vs Superman teaser kind of beat everything that Marvel did.
That's because Marvel didn't really do anything.
Well, no, they didn't really. They announced everything, and then everything's been put to fuck because Spider-Man's there now. So
yeah.
So I am actually not that upset about that, because if Marvel were there, they would maybe be announcing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Who Spider-Man is, and I don't want them to do that. I'm still keeping up hope that they're not going to tell us who it is.
That's not going to happen.
I want it to happen though.
How the hell do you think they're going to manage to do that in this day and age? Come on.
No, just shut up. It could happen.
Frontrunners is Sam Strike.
No, it's not him.
Is this that kid out of EastEnders?
It's not him. He is playing. He's playing Leatherface in a prequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Another Chainsaw Massacre fucking prequel.
Supposedly still in line for Spider-Man.
I did read that, and I just thought, no, because I don't want any Doylem from fucking EastEnders being in Marvel universe.
A name that I read, which I could actually see for Peter Parker, maybe not so much Spider-Man, is the kid out of Bates Motel.
Nah, Freddie Highmore. Oh, nah.
As I said, I could see him more as Peter Parker.
You could see him as more of a young Venom. No, a young Spider-Man.
Nah, I'm not buying that one.
Tell you what, after I said to you, Kev, that I watched Fury.
Yeah.
And that Logan, what's his surname?
Logan Lerman.
That's the fella. I'm all up for him being Spider-Man after watching that. I think he was brilliant in it.
So while we're in the spirit of segues, because we are so bloody professional, we just done Spider-Man. Let's just move on to this Avengers trailer and get that out of the way, because holy shit.
Yeah, aye.
I mean, we got a really short, awesome trailer. Then we got a slightly longer trailer from different angles, which was wank. And now we have the official trailer 3, which I'm not gonna lie, fucking blew me away.
Yeah, I agree. I just can't wait to bloody see it. I really can't.
It is gonna be the nuts.
So we seem to have the Hulk being turned into a wrong'un by the Scarlet Witch, because he was all red. He was all red-eyed and stuff.
Does it not seem like everyone's going to get turned into a wrong'un?
Well, Black Widow's eyes were all turned red by the Scarlet Witch as well.
Yeah.
But the thing that got me about it, the Hulk Buster.
Luke's shithole.
Yeah, where they were singing up the building and stuff.
I want to see that battle between the Hulk and the Hulk Buster. That's just going to be a mess.
Definitely. I think that's going to be, what everybody's wanting to see in the movie is the Hulk Buster.
Well, that's going to start leading into the Infinity War, so isn't it?
No, Civil War.
Against each other.
Yeah.
I think that's where it's going to start more than anything. They're picking sides already.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much.
Well, another bit of news actually related to that is both Hawkeye and Scarlet Black Widow are confirmed for Civil War, so they're not going to be getting killed in Avengers.
See, I read that about Hawkeye and I got a bit gutted because there's they're obviously saying that big characters are going to die in Avengers 2.
Well, the only one left, Sam Jack.
He's literally the one I was hoping to die was Jeremy Renner. Not actually Hawkeye, just Jeremy Renner.
Well, you can see Thor dying and bringing back.
Well, so, I read it online that, how he's, at one scene in the trailer, he's in the sort of pool.
Yeah, he's in the Lazarus pit.
No, I don't think it's that, Kev. The wrong franchise, pal. And they're saying that that's like the Asgard underworld sort of thing, so maybe Thor might die. So I don't think he's been confirmed for Civil War, so maybe Thor.
Hawkeye dying wouldn't be a major death because he's no major character.
Yeah, but we didn't think Coulson dying was going to be a major death, and it really affected us. And then they made that really shitty TV series where they brought him back.
What's that called again?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Aye, what's that called again? I'd forgot about it already after you mentioned it.
Lol.
Oh, sarcasm.
I think Marvel's really just, they're just dying on their arse on the TV. However, I have seen the trailer for Daredevil, and it looks pretty fucking sweet. Obviously, the Supergirl's coming. Have you seen the casting announcement on this? Like, I'm thinking this is shaping up to be a good ass show. Like,
I've seen Dean Cain and Helen something or other. That's the only casting I've seen.
I mean, obviously, I'm gonna watch it because I like Arrow. I'm loving the Flash. I think the Flash is absolutely killing it. But Greg Berlanti, the producer of both shows, is also involved in Supergirl, even though it's a different network. He's also involved, so obviously there's going to be crossovers. But
right.
Obviously,
see, that didn't really work with Angel and Buffy, so I'm kind of thinking.
How do you mean no? Like Angel and Buffy? Because what do you mean?
You know, Angel was on Warner Brothers and Buffy was on Fox, and they sort of did a couple of crossovers over like 5 seasons of Angel, and maybe one crossover of Angel back into Buffy, and that's all we got. So
is that not just because Angel was so much better?
No, it wasn't.
Oh yes, it was.
Well, no, it wasn't.
Kev, I have to disagree with you there.
Well, I thought it was because it was dark as shit, and Buffy was just about the Scooby Gang running about solving mysteries. All right, 2 on 1. I'll take that. 365 majority in that. But yeah, you've got a bit of Dean Cain has been confirmed
Superman.
Well, we don't know if he's going to be Superman.
Well, I read today that him and the one who played Supergirl in the movie is going to be is it Kara? Is that Supergirl's name?
Kara-El, yeah.
Kara-El or something? That's going to be her parents.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to be the case.
That's what I read. So yeah.
And it makes sense to have Dean Cain, because he's not had a job for years.
Well, yeah, bless him.
Well, he has. He's just made really shit B movies.
Interesting little bit of information for you there on the B movies. Do you know he actually made 2 movies that were exactly the same?
Because nobody's ever done that before. Liam Neeson.
Has every Liam Neeson movie the same?
Lately they are.
Why would you just throw Liam Neeson's name in there?
Come on, Jesus Christ! The last couple of years of movies that he's been making have been the same movie.
I've never heard you talk about Liam Neeson this way. I'm a little bit distraught right now.
He should stop making shit movies then. Apparently, I read over the weekend that he's going to be giving up action movies within 2 years or something.
Within 2 years, that's enough time for Taken 4
so
and
that's
5.
Enough for another couple of Taken movies. Maybe Non-Stop 2, Non-Stop 3.
Walk Among the Tombstones 2.
Yeah, maybe he's on a ferry instead of a plane in Non-Stop 2.
Yeah, but what I mean by Dean Cain making 2 movies that were exactly the same, I worked in the video shop, as you know, and within months of each other, we got like a Dean Cain movie came in, and it was called Boa, and it was all about this like huge fucking snake in like this underground prison, and it was like eating people, and I remember watching it thinking, oh my god, like Superman's just making snake movies now. And then like a couple of months later, another film called in, and it was called New Alcatraz, and it had Dean Cain's name at the top. Exactly, sounded fucking awesome. It had Dean Cain's name at the top, and I thought, I just watched a Dean Cain movie, I'll put that in. And I sat there and I watched it, and within 10-15 minutes I'm like, this is the same Dean Cain movie I watched 3 months ago with a different name. I mean, how did he get away with that?
I don't know. What? Was it literally the same movie?
It was literally the same movie.
Just repackaged?
Repackaged and
renamed. Oh, okay.
And I'm pretty sure it was a different distribution, because you know what I'm like? I'm totally like, I've got both cases, turned the back of them and read every credit, and I'm like, yeah, it's the same fucking movie. But also, Ally McBeal has been cast in it. Callista Flockhart.
Oh shit, yeah, I read that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Quite good about that, because we haven't seen her on the screen for a while.
No.
Harrison Ford's still banging her.
I have no idea, mate.
I'm married, Dad.
I'll just send him a quick text and ask him.
Oh, give him a text. He listens. He's a listener.
Back from his hospital bed.
Oh, did you see that picture with the on the golf course with the Millennium Falcon?
Nah.
Oh, no.
Did you not see it?
No.
It was like at the scene crash footage, and obviously it was like somebody doctored the photo, and the Millennium Falcon was like stuck in a sand bunker. Yeah, you've also they're going different with Jimmy Olsen. No, Chris, they're not going with a woman. They're going with a black man for Jimmy Olsen now.
All right, okay.
And you'll like this one, Ash, because it's Eggs from True Blood. Remember Eggs?
Which one was Eggs?
It's the one was the Tara was banging him.
Oh, and she shot his head off.
That's the one.
All right, okay. Could we not have had Lafayette? You know, if you were going, no.
As Jimmy Olsen.
Oh, you know what? The guy who played Lafayette was fucking awesome. I want to see him in more. Okay, moving on from that casual racism there from Chris.
I know we moved away from the Avengers trailer, but did you happen to see the news of Captain America directors, the Russo brothers?
Ghostbusters.
Well, that fucked me off. Because I was kind of like sat there and I read it and it was like Russo brothers have put pen to paper on a 3-year deal with Sony. My mind thought they're going to make the Spider-Man movie. You know, the solo Spider-Man project.
Yeah,
I thought, how fucking cool would it be if those two...
Yeah, that'd be good. But no.
But no, they're making an expanded universe Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, so we've already got the all-female cast with... Oh, God. And then now we've got the all-male cast being directed by the Russo brothers, with Channing Tatum.
With Tates. So that means Dan Aykroyd will be replaced by Jonah Hill.
Probably, yeah. Although, you see, there was these rumours going about that there was going to be a Jump Street Men in Black crossover. So maybe they're just scrapping the Men in Black thing and putting them into the Ghostbusters universe. Maybe, I don't know. Which sucks balls. That's just going to be bad. I'm a Ghostbusters fan and all this shit is just upsetting.
All I can think of there is, you know how all those emails got leaked? I'm just thinking Amy Pascal was on some severely good crack that day. So do we have anything else? Ash?
I supposedly, in Suicide Squad, we might be getting Dr. Hugo Strange.
You know what, mate? When they released the slate for DC, and you know I'm a DC whore, I'm a Batman whore, they released the slate for DC, and Suicide Squad was the shining light for me. That movie can go and suck a dick now.
I read that Joe Manhanan, you know, the one that was the wolf in True Blood, he's rumoured for Deathstroke.
Mangelino.
The wolf fella from True Blood as Deathstroke. But isn't Will Smith Deathstroke?
No, he's Deadshot. I kind of just wanted the guy from Arrow to play Deathstroke.
Yeah, it's really just... all the DC movies could just fuck off, to be honest.
And that's Chris's professional opinion.
Is that, you know what it is though? You're basing that on one thing and one thing only. You're basing that on Spider-Man is now part of the MCU.
Yeah.
So just drop that shit right now.
I am, yes. Sorry.
So let's move on, because...
Right, and so speaking of Spider-Man, Kev, another bit of news regarding Spider-Man is... when the Spider-Man solo movie comes around in 2017, which is going to be called Spectacular Spider-Man, by the way. I think we talked about that before, didn't we? And it's going to have Iron Man in it. Spider-Man movie with Iron Man in it could be pretty cool.
Do you think maybe they should just change it from Marvel Cinematic Universe to the Robert Downey Jr. show?
No, because it's Iron Man, and Iron Man is in all these bloody comic book stories. Iron Man and Spider-Man are in comic book stories together.
But to be fair, I enjoyed Spider-Man as a solo outing. I didn't want Spider-Man to be sharing his screen time with every other knob. He deserves a movie for himself, not to share it like, say, big characters in Avengers. They're alright to share the time. It works well.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, actually, Ash, to be honest with you. I would agree with you there. I think he's Marvel's most, well-known character. You know, before Robert Downey Jr. took over Iron Man. I mean, Iron Man was...
Sorry, did you say before Robert Downey took over Iron Man or Marvel?
Shut up. Before he took over...
I misheard you there.
Before he started the Iron Man role, Iron Man was a pretty... he wasn't all that well known. But Spider-Man has always been Marvel's, big gun kind of thing. So I agree with you there. He does deserve his own series of movies, but I think that needs to be under Marvel because Sony keep on fucking it up.
Yeah, but now it's going to be under Marvel, and what do Marvel do? They throw fucking Tony Stark in there?
Well...
Fucking balls. Right, let's just move on from that because that's kind of pissed me off a bit.
So, still on Marvel, Wolverine 3 is started filming in 2016. I really couldn't care less about Wolverine. Nah, I mean... The second film, Wolverine 2, whatever it was called, what was it called?
I think it was just Wolverine, wasn't it?
Alright, Wolverine harder.
Another day to Wolverine.
Yeah, a good day to Wolverine.
You know what, you could pretty much put anybody's title in that Die Hard film and it sounds a lot better than the actual Die Hard title. Another day to Ben Affleck.
Oh, that's a movie. No, I'd go and see that in IMAX 3D.
Well, still speaking about Wolverine, supposedly he's going to turn up in Fantastic Four.
So Fox are doing the shared universe thing now too, are they?
That's what I read.
Right, I've not read that one, but ugh.
Fox just want to do a Sony and give it back.
But speaking of Fantastic Four, it looks good. I'm actually looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
I think when I first watched that Fantastic Four trailer when it dropped, like I sat there and I was thinking, this looks really good. This looks excellent. And then you realise it's a Fantastic Four movie, and you're like, nah, it's gonna suck balls. So let's move on from there.
So Terminator 6 is happening, and Arnie has signed up for it.
A robot that doesn't age keeps getting older.
No, it's Arnie. It'd be fine.
Speaking of Arnie, interesting segue. Expendables has been confirmed for a 4 and a 5 and a fucking TV series.
Expendables 4 and 5.
I read about the TV series.
Yeah, they've also confirmed that there's going to be a 4 and a 5. TV series, though, could be interesting if they go with TV action stars. I think we should do an episode where we kind of cast that TV show.
Buffy.
Yeah, maybe not. Jack Bauer.
Jack Bauer would have to be in it, and Buffy.
He'd be... Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, okay, Buffy's in it.
Good luck, I win.
She can be cannon fodder. I mean, can we not talk about Expendables? Can we just...
Yeah, moving on. I've got others. Hold on a minute. Harrison Ford's doing Blade Runner 2.
Yes. I got it was more than a semi when I heard that. I can't even wait till that gets made.
Blade Runner 2. You're excited for Blade Runner 2?
I'm not at all.
Blade Runner.
To be honest, right? I'm gonna put this out there. Blade Runner is overrated.
Oh.
Christ. Do you actually watch movies?
Just to clarify, which version of Blade Runner are you saying is overrated?
See, that's the thing, because I read that there's another version being released in the cinema with like 5 seconds of extra footage, and they're calling it the definitive cut.
The definitive, I will never do this again because I'm making Blade Runner 2 cut.
There is another version being released in the cinemas. There fucking is. I don't see what the big deal is about Blade Runner. It's okay.
I know, but you have to think about the time it was actually made. And it was immense. There was nothing really out like it at the time.
I think the film itself, I don't think it's overrated. I think you've gone the wrong way. I think it's quite underrated. I don't think enough people do appreciate that movie. However, it's not amazing.
Disney are releasing an unaltered edition of Star Wars on Blu-ray.
Unaltered
Star Wars original trilogy. Disney are releasing an unaltered version of it on Blu-ray.
What do you mean unaltered?
Before George Lucas started putting fucking moving eyes on bloody Ewoks and that kind of thing. They're releasing an edition before all that kind of nonsense was added. I'm up for that, to be honest. The Ewoks and Darth Vader going no at the end of the Jedi pissed me off. So I could see myself buying that.
So is Jabba going to be a real guy again?
I don't think it's that unaltered.
So Disney aren't releasing
I don't know
version of fucking Star Wars on Blu-ray.
It's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be from when he first did the special editions, where he added that scene where Han Solo stands on his tail, which is ridiculous because he's muckle in Return of the Jedi. He's been eating some fucking bunch of stuff.
I should fucking slug the grow.
So I suppose that takes us back to the age-old question: are they gonna finally reveal who shot first?
Harrison Ford's already put the picture up. I shot first.
We all know he shot first, but George Lucas is that much of a... He just pissed around. Solo was he shot first.
Yeah, I could cope with them getting rid of that bit. But then there are bits in the first special editions, like before the Battle of Yavin in in A New Hope, where he added sort of the X-wings coming at about to fly off the battle and all that. That was cool. That instead of just like the bloody bolts of light that are supposed to be the engines. You know what I mean?
But at the end of the day, you got me really pumped when you turned around and you said, oh, they're going to release an unaltered cut of all the Star Wars movies, and they're just not doing that.
They are doing that.
Because who the fuck's going to buy it?
Chris.
Yeah, but like I say, it depends where the cutoff is, because some of the stuff that they did, like say Cloud City, they changed the look of Cloud City when they were walking through the corridors and stuff to make it less claustrophobic, and you could see the city outside and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. That's all right by me. It's just when you add eyes to Ewoks. Yeah, Tomb Raider is being rebooted.
What, the game?
The movie.
Who the fuck's playing Lara Croft now?
The game, the rebooted game was actually really, really good, which I guess has led to this. So Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Probably be Mila Kunis or something playing.
Ooh, I could see that. Huh, didn't think of that.
Well done, Ash.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting at the toilet at the minute.
You've just fueled us in a fanboy. You know fine well it'll be fucking Jovovich.
Oh, no, she's too old to play Lara Croft now. They want to do the way that the game. Did you both play the game? Yeah, the rebooted game.
I've not played a Tomb Raider game since Tomb Raider 1 probably.
Bloody hell! Well, the way that the game was that last year it came out. I think it was. The way that worked was it was sort of it was a reboot basically. So it was right to when she's sort of.
Well, it came out before the PS4 and the Xbox One did, because they re-released it for that, didn't it?
It was like 2 years ago then.
It was. It was actually quite a good story, and the graphics were pretty stunning.
I really liked it. I didn't buy the the special edition or whatever when for the Xbox One. I didn't bother with that because, to be honest, I thought that it looked really good, did it?
The upgrade for next gen is unbelievable.
Right.
You would just
see. I kind of thought, it'll not be that good, but is it really good?
Nah, it's worth it.
Right. Huh. To be honest, the first Tomb Raider movie that Angelina Jolie did was okay. The second one was hellish, but the first one was all right.
Which one was the second? Was that the Cradle of Life?
The second one was Cradle of Life.
Aye, that was dink.
First one was all right. You know, you had the bit where she was in the sort of the tomb and the bloody thing came to life and stuff. The big bloody it was shit. It was shit.
But it had a real life dad playing a dad, so that was pretty cool. Because I like John Boyd.
You know what? I liked the first movie. Angelina Jolie wearing the hot pants with the guns and all that. You can't go wrong. Get Emma Watson in there. Emma Watson. Yeah, that sounded quite perverse there.
Yeah, just a wee bit.
Giggity. Yeah.
Giggity.
I've decided that Emma Watson should play Lara Croft.
Alright then, so moving on, because I don't want to talk about
I've got one last bit of news, and this is the one that I kind of went, fucking get in, when I saw it. They are doing another movie, apparently, of Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
Did you see the pictures of Battlecat?
I did, yeah.
Fucking hell, it looks amazing.
I didn't know they were doing this.
I'd read that they were doing it, but I'd read that it was like in development hell, so I didn't really expect to see it, and then all of a sudden on Den of Geek, the photos were thingied, and Battlecat looks fucking awesome, so yeah.
But is that them just trying to drum up support for the movie, or?
I don't know.
Like, is it really... is it that far ahead that they've got a Battlecat on the go? I'll be honest with you, it looked pretty fucking sweet, like.
Well, I hope it is.
I know, but Dolph Lundgren's a bit old to play him now, isn't he?
He is. Yes. Who would you get? Channing Tatum.
Taters and everything.
Aye, with Ben Affleck being Skeletor.
No, come on, that would obviously be that'd be someone like Jeffrey Rush.
So we'll just have Johnny Depp in there as well.
Hi, as fucking
Prince
what
Adam.
was his name? Fucking Tiagra.
Christ,
Fucking Thundercats, you dingbat.
Speaking about your man Johnny Depp, though, what do you think of Tim Burton taking on Dumbo?
Oh,
Was that you told me about that the other night, didn't you?
Yeah,
live action thing.
Yeah.
So can we just officially say on the 365 podcast that it is our opinion Tim Burton has lost his damn mind?
I think that's a good standpoint, to be honest.
Well,
do we need a live action Dumbo film? I mean, we're getting a live action Beauty and the Beast because Emma Watson's playing Belle and other people are playing other things. But do we need a live action Dumbo? Really?
Who's going to play Dumbo? Will Smith?
Ben Affleck?
There's only one animal Ben Affleck will be playing.
The Shark and Jaws.
Kevin Smith said it first.
Mm-hmm. Although if they remake Jaws, I'm gonna kill a bunch of people. So
if they remake Jaws, you're out.
Yeah, of everything.
Yeah, I've got nothing else. I had the Avengers thing, I had the Supergirl thing, and that was about it. Like the whole him sobbing, I think I might have been a little bit harsh on them. But no, just if people are making fan art like that and it is that bloody good, let them get on with it.
Yeah, I would say so.
Right, so we're gonna move on from there.
Time to wing the next section.
Yeah, so how's your bloody Batman points going to work then?
I will explain that to you later once we have done the discussion.
We'll just start calling him Clarkson right now.
Clarkson?
Aye, well, he wins everything even though he doesn't.
Let's be honest, right? You both know I'm going to win this.
And Clarkson's
Isn't it a Batman's going to win this?
Well, okay, fuck you. A Batman's going to win this.
Right.
Aye, my Batman.
We are going to do best movie Batman. We're sticking to the movies. We're not going with the animation. We're not going with the games. We'll probably mention both. We're not going with anything else. It is simply the Batman movies. We're not going to go anything before 1966 because they don't count.
Neither did we.
Eh?
Neither did we.
No, we didn't. So we're going to go West, Keaton, Kilmer, Clooney, Bale. We've got a 3-round system. We're going to start with our first round, which is the best Bruce Wayne / Batman voice. And by that I mean who plays the best Bruce Wayne, obviously, but when they transfer into the suit, who's got the best voice. So who wants to go first on that?
Okay. What about how are you doing points?
We ain't talking about the points. Don't you worry about the points.
All right.
I've got this in the bag.
Aggressive. So are we doing top like from bottom to top, or?
Yeah, you got to choose your best 3.
Best 3.
Yeah, but we're going to go with Bruce Wayne / voice. So
right.
Kick it off.
Okay, all right. So my number 3 is Adam West.
What, for Bruce Wayne?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he was a good Bruce Wayne and he was a good Batman.
But you also have to remember you're lumping the voice in with this as well.
I like 2 different sections though. That for me.
No, it's the same category. This is where it gets interesting. So you've got to take into account the Bruce Wayne that he is, but also the Batman voice he pulls off.
All right.
Yeah.
Still going with Adam.
Adam
Still
West.
going with Adam West.
Adam West. Don't question me.
That's cool. So your number 2 is?
My number two is Christian Bale.
Really?
Fuck no.
I'll let you have that. I'll let you have that right now.
Because he kind of went. Well, I thought he was a good Bruce Wayne until The Dark Knight Rises, when he wasn't. And then he was a good Batman voice until he just lost the fucking plot and, wasn't.
In Dark Knight Rises.
Yep. So that's why he's number 2.
Subtitles for that motherfucker. Seriously, he speaks with a speech impediment to start with, and then he puts on the Batman voice, and you seriously can't understand what he's talking about half the time. You need to put subtitles on.
You know what, like in Batman Begins, right? I think it's Batman Begins, where he sort of first turns into Batman and all that kind of thing. And there's a scene where he's got the sort of corrupt copper sort of strung upside down.
Yeah.
Remember that scene? And the copper goes, I swear to God, and Batman goes, swear to me! And I fucking love that scene. That is when he became Batman. But then he took it too far, and then, like Ash said, you couldn't understand what he was bloody saying.
Could you imagine if he said that line in Dark Knight Rises? It would be like...
Exactly. You think you'd be listening to something like Polish or Portuguese or something like that. It's
you know, at the end of The Dark Knight, I know he's been stabbed and stuff, but when the Joker's got him pinned down and everything, and he's going, God, I'm just showing you that it's for the people willing to do good. What are you speaking about? That's not what you were doing in the movie before it. What are you doing? So that's why he's number 2.
Right. So your number 1 is?
Michael Keaton.
How the fuck did I know that was coming?
Just FYI, Val Kilmer and George Clooney don't come into my top 3 on any of the
Oh, now come on.
The next section. So yeah.
I don't know if he's going to come into any of mine, those 2. So Ash, you're 3-1 on Bruce Wayne / voice.
Well, 2 and 3. Bruce Wayne, millionaire, suave, looks down his nose to everyone. For me, it was Kilmer and Clooney as Bruce Wayne, because the other characters, they're not suave, they haven't got that air of arrogance around them like them 2 had.
I think Keaton kind of did, because Keaton was a bit of a douchebag, like.
He was, but he didn't. You could see it in Kilmer. He played it well. Clooney, that silver fox is just all the girls want to dry hump, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you do pretty much want to, like, get your rocks off onto Clooney, like, don't you?
No.
But when it comes to the voice, it has to be Keaton. Unlike Clooney and Val Kilmer, their voice didn't change when it came to Batman. They had the same voice, didn't try and disguise it or anything. But when you got Keaton, it's like that first bit, them 2 guys up on the top of the roof.
Yes, the
other one over, and it's just, I'm Batman. And that done it for me.
I'll give you that, Keaton. When it comes to saying I'm Batman, I do think Keaton done it best.
Yep.
So, like, say, I shared 2 and 3 with Kilmer and Clooney for Bruce Wayne, but my number 1 Batman voice is Keaton.
Well, you can't share them, so where are you putting them?
I'm sharing them. It's my choice.
Alright, so Clooney and Kilmer.
So I get double points because I've lumped them together.
No, you just get called a bitch for lumping them together.
Indecisive fuck.
Indecisive fuck.
Yes, I'll get over it.
For me, Bruce Wayne, best voice. See, we're not going to go down that road. Like, me personally, best Bruce Wayne, I'm going to put West at number 1. I have to, because I thought he was a cool Bruce Wayne, and Batman Bruce Wayne is known as the world's greatest detective. You know, that's why he was in DC Comics, Detective Comics. He was the only one who is technically does anything detective-like.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He even has a fucking detective kit in his utility belt.
Oh no, wait a minute though. Christian Bale cut a fucking slice out of a wall and then put a bullet together again. So that's a bit detective-y.
Yeah, but that was just Christopher Nolan being like a total fucking nerd. Because let's be honest, that's not happening.
No, it's not. It's
that
really
is not happening.
No.
He doesn't have to try and be a nerd. He is a massive nerd.
He's like, I'm gonna reconstruct the bullet and the fingerprints and the Joker.
Is he Arnold Schwarzenegger now?
That was a terrible Arnie accent, if that's what that was. So, I mean, I'm going the other way. I'm putting West at number 1. Even though technically, like you say, with Kilmer and Clooney, the voice didn't really change. He's kind of still does that, William Shatner voice.
It didn't technically change, it just didn't.
But, like, my 2 and 3, I have to agree with you on Val Kilmer. He just, that scene when he's like talking to the Riddler, Edward Nygma at the time, and he's kind of just like being a dick, but he's not being a dick. Like, he's all like, it just raises too many questions. Like, he's basically saying fuck you, but he isn't. So,
Kev, you've not put Christian Bale in your top 3.
Christian Bale goes at my number 3.
Oh, okay.
Bale goes at 3, and I'll be totally honest with you. It's not to do with his Batman. I think his Batman is just totally one-dimensional. He's like a block of fucking wood when he's Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne. He's like a block of wood when he's Bruce Wayne.
Christian Bale?
Yeah, his Bruce Wayne doesn't do anything for me. And that's shit, because all 3 movies we see more Bruce Wayne than we do Batman.
Especially the last one.
Yeah. I put him at number 3 because I kind of disagree on Keaton a little bit. I don't think his voice changed that much, if I'm fair.
Go back and watch the movies, it does.
It went deep, but it didn't. At least Bale put a bit of fucking effort into changing his voice.
Didn't he sound like he was fucking retarded?
And alright then, but answer me this then. How many other Batmen spoke to themselves?
Exactly. Well, this is very true.
So he was the only schizophrenic Batman.
Which gets him 3 points. We totally disagree with everything. I mean, you two are going with Keaton. I can see how this is going to go. Bale's not winning this one, is he?
Not a chance.
We're going to move over and we're going to go to round 2, which I decided was going to be the best tech and gadgets.
Okay.
Who's got the best utility belts?
Okay.
Or what is it he says? Where does he get those wonderful little toys?
Yeah. I want to watch it now.
So, Chris, you start the last one.
So, number 3 is Christian Bale.
Right.
Why? Why is it Christian Bale?
Yeah.
Well,
he's got some pretty nifty gadgets.
Yeah, but not as good as the other 2 on my list. I mean, well, it's not going to be Val Kilmer or George Clooney because one of them had nipples and floppy ears, and then the other one had a floppy fin on the Batmobile. So it's not going to be them. Christian Bale had the awesome Batmobile. In The Dark Knight Rises, he had a kind of gun thing that just went that we don't really know what it did or what it was for.
Yeah, because it was a fucking 12.
What was it? Oh, it's still guns, Christ's sake. I mean, he didn't really have that many gadgets, but they were still better than Val Kilmer and George Clooney. So
you're telling me even though he had very little gadgets, his gadgets are still better than bat skates. Jesus Christ. George Clooney had fucking ice skates in his shoes.
I can't believe you just said that.
Yeah. He also had the fucking bat credit card.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
An absolute must when you're leaving the house.
That's a gadget for you.
Dear
God. But then, I'm going to kind of contradict myself in a minute. My number 2 was Michael Keaton.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he even have anything?
Well, he did. Oh, in Batman Returns, he hacked the Penguin's bloody speech thing just by, and Alfred went, and that, you know, the thing, that sounded...
what that sounded like.
I don't know what that sounded like either. I was going for the disc, you know, where they're playing the people of Gotham or fuck it. Got away from me there.
Does memory serve me correctly here? Did he not have, like, no, he pretty much, because Keaton has a lot of, like, bat pellets that he throws and does shit.
Yeah.
You know? Did he not have one full of napalm? Does he not have, like, an acidy thing that burns the fuck out of Catwoman?
He did, aye, that's right. I forgot about that.
Or am I just going a bit extreme?
No, he did. Yeah, because then she fell into the truck.
Yeah.
The open air truck of cat litter, I'm sure everywhere in America. So my number one was Adam West.
Oh, yes.
Because in the movie, he's got anti-shark spray. And there's not one thing that any Batman can do that can spray on a shark and tell it to fuck off. So, there you go.
I'm with you there.
When it's got your whole bloody leg in its mouth and you can spray a bit of stuff on it and it fucks off out of it, you win.
I seem to remember a scene from the 66 movie where they're in the Batcave and he pretty much has a spray for everything. Like that was the height. Yeah. That was the height of 1966 technology. Like you had like villain spray, you had penguin spray. You know, just fucking great.
Do you think in the future that that's what they thought the future was going to be like? They'll have an anti-shark spray.
I would hope so. I mean, that's not a future.
Like for the remake of Jaws, they can go. And then, woo, it's away.
I think a future without shark repellent spray, you know, that's not a future I want to live in. So, Ash.
So, Adam West is the winner, yep.
Tech and gadgets, Ash.
Yeah, well, I'm just exactly the same as Chris, to tell the truth.
Right, so you go with Bale at 3?
Aye, Keaton at 2, because Keaton, unlike the other ones, it's like Batmobile and everything, it was more like styled to the original.
Yeah.
And with the grapple gun and everything else.
Oh, yeah. And plus the Joker does go to, like Kev said before, where does he get those wonderful toys? So, you know, you have to give him props for that.
Yeah, but obviously the original is going to win because it was the first and that's what everything else stemmed from.
Alright.
Yeah.
So that's my 3 as well.
I did a bit of bit of research on the tech and the gadgets, and you're right when you say everything else stemmed from that. Like Adam West had pretty much a variation of everything that the rest of them have had, but they've had less. Yep. If you know what I mean.
But it's like, don't get us wrong, the Tumbler class, but it was nothing like what you'd represent as a Batmobile being.
Well,
compared to Adam West's Batmobile, like
see, Adam West's Batmobile was cool, you know.
Aye, and Michael Keaton's was like modelled on that, just an updated version, yeah. But then you go to the Tumbler and it's totally deviated away.
Yeah, I know. It was just kind of the Nolan universe version of the Batmobile, though, wasn't it? It was like it's sort of real life sort of thing.
Well, that's where I was gonna go, and that's why I put Christian Bale at number 1 for tech and gadgets, if I'm honest with you.
Blimey.
I do like everyone else's, but I love the original Batman movie for its sheer cheesy campiness. I love the second 2 and not so much 3 and 4. You know, just for what they were at that time. But when it comes to the Nolan trilogy, it's the hyper-realism for me. I love the fact that all his gadgets are practical as fuck. I love the fact that the Tumbler is just a tank. You know, it's just tank with fucking kick-ass wheels.
Yeah.
I love the fact that the Batpod or the Batbike comes out of the Tumbler. I don't know. Tech and gadgets, I put Bale at number 1.
Well, what about your 2 and 3?
My 2 and 3, I have to put West at number 2. Because for the same reason you both put him at number 1, he started it all. And like you said, the shark repellent, I just fucking love the shark repellent. And I love his Batcopter, I love his Batboat, I love his Batcar, his Batbike, you know. They're all just shit vehicles, but they look pretty damn cool. And my number 3, and neither of you are going to like this one.
You're going to say George Clooney, aren't you?
I do put Clooney at number 3.
Fuck off, Kev.
I do, because Joel Schumacher, when he took over from Tim Burton, I don't think Tim Burton used a lot of gadgets in his movies. I think he stemmed away from that, probably because he's a shit director and doesn't know how to do that shit. But Joel Schumacher came on board and said, look, Adam West had like 1 million gadgets. Keaton didn't have very many. I'm going to give Kilmer and Clooney every fucking gadget under the sun. He even has a little gay montage at the start of the movies where you see their ass, you see their nips, you see their biceps, and you see like every weapon on the board. He's got like a cutout on the wall of like this weapon, that weapon, you know.
5S.
It's all 5S, and yeah, I'm not going down that road. Clooney has got, I think, every weapon. He's got every weapon.
Okay.
Clooney's Batman was based a lot more on the cartoons, I think, than it was the actual...
I always like to think that. I like to think that they went so far the other way that they just got it massively wrong.
Yeah.
Plus, he has a bat card, he's got bat skates, and at the end of the movie, right, he doesn't know that he's going to be facing off against Mr. Freeze when that movie starts. He doesn't know that. But somehow...
He's got them anyway.
He's got a winter bat suit in the background, you know? Because when you get to the end of that movie, the three of them turn up in the Ice Palace, and they've got, like, suits, like, winter style. And they're exactly the same. They've just got white trim.
You've really watched that quite a lot, haven't you? Wow.
So can we move on?
Probably, yeah.
I've put Clooney in my top 3, so move on. So that's when we move on to round 3, which is the best fighting style.
Right, okay. Alright, so my number 3 for best fighter was Michael Keaton.
You love you some Keaton.
I do. Yeah, what do you say? Well, you know.
Very rigid, accurate.
You're still talking about the fighting, yeah?
He was that suit, you could hardly move in it. It was like, that was the design of that suit. He couldn't move his neck, and he was very stick animated, so it was very precise fighting, and he just leathered the shit out of folk, but specific angles it was taken from to hide the fact that he couldn't move.
Yeah. Aye. I just love the scene in the first one where they're in the bell tower at the end, and sort of Michael Keaton just does like a backhand to the guy and knocks him out. Remember that bit? That was cool. Aye. It's always what you get to someone. Yeah.
Is that the bit where he knocks him down and kills him?
I don't think he kills him.
Batman doesn't kill people, come on.
Keaton does.
Keaton kills people.
He killed the Joker and Batman.
I'm taking him out of all my choices.
But we'll come to that later. Carry on.
So you're number 2.
Yeah, what was number 2 again? Hold on. Christian Bale.
Really, Bale?
Yeah. You know, he's a trained fighter by Qui-Gon Jinn and / Taken / whatever, Aslan. So yeah,
I love the fact that you went straight to Qui-Gon Jinn. That just says so much about us.
That?
It says so much about us that I don't even want to explain.
Qui-Gon's. Yeah, you know, good fighter. Blah 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 blah. I like good fighter. And then number 1, Adam West, because he never lost a fight ever, and he got kapow on the screen.
Didn't even ask me for my 3 selections.
I so badly wanted to put Adam West up there purely for the kapow and the biff and the bam and the boom.
Exactly. Name a fight that Adam West Batman lost, for there are none.
I wouldn't imagine he did lose any.
You know, Christian Bale got his back broken, and I don't know. Keaton got the bat plane crashed by the Joker. None of that bullshit with Adam West.
So Ash, your 3 choices.
Like I said, they didn't even ask us.
Well,
because it is the same.
Oh,
is it exactly the same?
Yeah, primarily for pretty much the same reasons he gave.
Well, me fighting style, I don't know. Like I always preferred, like I love Bale's fighting style, and I love the fact that when you watch like the behind the scenes and all that, like that dude, he fucking got into it. I know they all say Bale's a character actor and all that, and he gets into the role and shit, but I mean that fighting style's brutal.
He's no Timothy Dalton, away.
And he gets his ass handed to him quite a bit.
Did you say he's not Timothy Dalton? Is that what you said?
Of course.
And he gets his ass handed to him quite a bit. And like you say, West never lost a fight, so that makes Bale a little bit better.
But I think probably Adam West had a few more kapows than Christian Bale, so you'll probably maybe give Christian Bale a few extra points for that one.
He had a hell of a lot more kapows.
But the most realistic fighting probably was Bale.
It was, and you know, the fight scenes were good in those movies, and you know, come across that I don't like the Christian Bale movies. I like 2 of them, so...
Fuck you. Well, I don't like Iron Man 3.
We've covered that. Move on.
So my number, sitting right in there in the middle at number 2, I went with Keaton. I know you two put him at number 3, but I don't know, like, that whole line at the end of the movie when he's fighting the Joker, and it just, I know it's Jack Nick that delivers the line, but it makes that fucking movie for me.
You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
And then what does he do? Punches fuck out of him.
Aye. Yeah, fair enough.
So I put Keaton at number 2 purely for that. I know what you're saying, like, can't really do the fighting because the suit's constrictive as fuck, but, you know, he done the best he could.
You don't really know that watching the movie, though. You know, Batman does come across as a kick-ass.
I don't think he does in the Keaton version.
No?
Apart from when he's like, you wanna go nuts? Let's go nuts, you know? Just.
But he's not Batman, and he's Bruce Wayne.
And right in there at number 3, I'm gonna say it, you know.
George Clooney.
George Clooney.
Fuck,
Are you really surprised, Chris? Are we?
I know it's not part of the fight, but dude, like, scales down a dinosaur, right? Like Fred Flintstone style, before he goes into battle. Come on, that's got to be worth points.
You're fucking mental. Nah, I'm not having that. Nah.
Negative points.
No, that's worth points. I'm putting Clooney in there.
No, I'm hanging up.
You actually liked that movie, didn't you? Honestly.
If I had to be completely honest with you, and I had to rate, like, you know, like, if I had to say which was better, or Batman Forever, or Batman and Robin, I'd go with Batman and Robin.
Is this because I mentioned independent women the last time?
I'm just waiting for you to step up and walk out, mate.
I may have already done that. I've got Bluetooth headsets on.
I'm putting Clooney all up in there, right at number 3, for his fighting style.
Yeah. So how do we wrap this up then?
We don't wrap this up yet. I've got an extra round here.
Okay.
I'll declare the winner later on because I have to do my tabulations. And
well, how do we know it's not fixed? Because it's you've not told us what the rules are.
That's why we're calling him Clarkson.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So extra round. I have a bonus round that I wanna put to you, and it's not for points or anything like that. It's just because I wanted to put an extra round in, and Lindsay came up with the idea. I want to know, right? We all know Ben Affleck is playing the next Batman. Mm-hmm. We all know that, and he's gonna be shit hot. However, if Ben Affleck wasn't playing the next Batman, who would be your choice? You get one choice. Reasons why. Who would it be?
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like that choice.
Yep. I
like that choice. Josh Brolin. I think it worked.
Awesome actor. There you go. That's all.
He's got the jaw.
I think he could be a good Batman.
Ash, do you have anyone?
Still trying to think. Somebody that's seriously put into that role.
Apart from Ben Affleck. While you're thinking, I've mentioned this to you before, Chris. I always wanted to see Gabriel Mack from Suits.
Right.
Have you watched any of that?
No.
I think he'd make a blinding Batman. I think he's got this wicked ass jaw. He's proper savvy as fuck in Suits. Like, he's got wicked banter about him. Delivers dialogue really well. I think he'd be a great Batman. Great Bruce Wayne as well. My only problem with him is he's got like this cut on his like mouth. It like stems away just from the inside of his mouth. It's like this quite distinctive cut on his face.
Right.
You know, if you're not figuring out he's Bruce Wayne, then
Batman. Aye.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, but he would be my choice. I think he's a wicked actor. I think Ash is just typing impossible Batman selections.
No, I was thinking about, what's his name, Zachary Quinto or whatever. He's got kind of like the right jawline for it.
Spock?
Aye.
He's not a bit feminine?
Nah, I don't think he is. He actually watched that teleseries he's in, The Slap.
Oh, this new one?
The Slap.
Are people not going fucking nuts about this?
I watched the first episode, like, it was pretty good, and he definitely doesn't look feminine in any way, shape or form.
No.
Oh.
I remember reading something about it, and people were going fucking nuts. What's it about?
It's about a family with a bunch of friends, and they have a barbecue, and the main guy's banging the babysitter, and folk are starting to figure that out, and one of the guys has a kid, and I mean, he's a total shit. Treats everyone like shit. He speaks to them, he starts swinging a baseball bat round, and Zachary Quinto's daughter nearly gets hit, so he goes down and says, "Fuck's going on," and all this kind of stuff. So the laddie kicks him in the ankles, and he just delivers this mother of a slap right across the laddie's face. That's where it all stems. Like I say, I only watched the first episode. I've got a couple more to watch, but it's not too bad.
I might have a look into that.
You know what was the guy with the Joker called? That movie? Not the Joker. I mean, he was a superhero, but it was based in the 60s or whatever.
Heroes.
No, you dumb.
Oh, the Watchmen.
Watchmen. You know the bad guy in that, the intelligent. You know the one I'm on?
The comedian.
No, you know the intelligent guy who's the bad guy in it at the very end.
Ozymandias.
Is that his name? He's got the right look.
He'd be pretty good, actually, yeah. I honestly thought you were going to go with the other guy, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I think he'd be alright. Ozymandias, that's a good shout, that's a really good shout.
It's just, he's got that kind of look, and he's just got that blankness to his face, if you get my meaning. Where you can see him being Batman. Right,
so we're not going to get the results till a little bit later on. That was just a nice little extra round that I wanted to put in there for you.
We don't know the results till later on. No, you son of a bitch. Like, how later on?
I know the results, it's alright.
I put out on Facebook as well and Twitter for people to come forward and say who they thought, and we've got a few right backs, not very many, but a few. We've got Stephen Watney, an old pal of mine, he basically said Keaton, hands down, no contest, debate over. Bruni, Adam West, obviously.
I knew he'd say that, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think he was trying to rile us, or?
No, I think he genuinely likes Adam West.
William Milne, the guy that done the intro for us, the Star Trek intro, he came forward and said Keaton always. Yeah, Keaton pretty much wins according to these guys. Chris that we work with, Ash, Chris Aitchison, he said Keaton. Baz Telford said Bale. Didn't get much more than that.
That no votes for Clooney or Kilmer. No votes for Clooney or Kilmer.
I think people know that we would probably not do another podcast. So, yeah, they probably should have voted for them. So Keaton seems to have won the social media vote anyway, but I'll count up all the things later. You can find us and many fine other geeky podcasts over at musingsofthegeek.com. Let me take 2 seconds to suggest some of my personal favourites. Listen to Dana Buckler and co on How Is This Movie Very Informative, or partake in Neil and Annalisa's geeking out on Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks. Join the gang on the flagship show Musings of the Geek. I would definitely make time for History of Bad Ideas, some really good shit on there. Oh, and us, the 365Flicks podcast, the first UK-based cast on musingsofthegeek.com. I'm even making time to plug ourselves. Drop by the 365Flicks on Facebook, give us a like, or you can follow us on Twitter. You can look for our wonderfully crafted videos by Chris DDS on YouTube. If you're hearing this podcast on Podomatic or iTunes or Musings, shoot us a comment and let us know what you think. Now, I'm wanting to start a new section for the next episode. Remember I talked about the movies that we were going to recommend for each other?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And we had to watch them and come back the next episode. We're basically trying to find films that we maybe haven't seen before. I've got one for Chris. Ash, I think you've already seen it because I think we've actually spoken about it before. Chris, have you seen a movie called Biodome?
No.
Right. There you go then.
No, I've not.
So, for the next episode, I would like you to watch Biodome.
Biodome. Right.
Yes. And we will have a crack about it. It'll be on Love Film or something on Netflix or some shit like that. I hope we get money for saying those two names. It stars a Baldwin brother, so you know it's good.
Which one?
The one that was on Big Brother.
Right.
It also stars Pauly Shaw. Remember Pauly Shaw?
Pauly from The Sopranos.
He had a career for a little while. So basically, I want you to watch that movie because you're saying you haven't seen it. Brilliant. Best case scenario for me. I want you to watch that movie. Come back next time and tell us what you thought of Biodome. It is a fucking classic.
Biodome. Okay.
Yeah, Ash, you can rewatch it. I would like you to rewatch it.
Definitely.
See if it stood the test of time. I'm going to rewatch it anyway because it is one of my favourites.
Biodome. So, right. Okay.
Yes, Biodome.
You think he's going to like that one, Ash?
Probably not, no.
I think the whole premise of this section is that we can name a movie for each other that is just going to make us irate, you know? So let's just go for it.
So you right. Okay. Alright.
I've got my movie sorted.
You got yours sorted, have you?
I have.
I've got a feeling Chris is probably going to want to go next after watching that shite. That awesome film.
Son of a bitch.
So come back, let us know what you think of Biodome.
Biodome. Okay.
Biodome. If you have trouble getting it, just let us know and I'll sort you out with it.
What's it called again?
Biodome.
Biodome.
Remember Pauly Shaw? He had a career for a while.
Weezy the Juice.
Weezy the Juice.
Ow!
You've seen California Man, haven't you?
Was that the one with Brendan Fraser?
Oh, you are gonna love Biodome.
Aye.
Dear
Right.
God. Okay.
So we've got that sorted. That's for the next episode.
Yep.
We'll come back and we'll talk about that shit. Sorry, that awesome, classic, amazing Oscar-winning movie. Sorry, did I say winner? I meant worthy. So we're going to move on to the last section. Chris, this is your section.
Yeah, let's talk Star Wars. So, we've got Rogue One coming in December 2016, and we've got Episode 8 apparently coming in May 2017.
Yep.
So, what do we want to see from Rogue One, and what do we want to see from the other spin-offs, or Episode 8? What does 365Flicks want to see? Go.
I don't know what I want to see. I want to see some from the movie coming up. I want JJ to bring it back and just just get us back to the original trilogy. You know, the greatness, the good old days.
You know what I think about
this character development. So in fact, I know we're gonna
exactly, making you care about the characters. The thing that worked for the original trilogy was the good guys were pretty much on the ropes throughout the whole trilogy.
Yeah.
You know, they were being chased, and then they were being frozen, and then they were going to be tossed into a fucking big mouth.
And then he found out he kissed his own sister.
Exactly, and he
found out the baddie was his dad.
And, you know...
Yeah, it was a right old family affair.
That kind of thing. But like Ash said, you know, a bit of character development. And I think that's what was missing with the new trilogy, you know, the prequels, is that the comic relief that you got from Han Solo and Princess Leia and Han Solo versus 3PO, you know, that kind of thing, was substituted for fucking Jar Jar Binks. And you know, the love interest that, you know, the sort of the chemistry that you got between Han Solo and Princess Leia, or Princess Leia and Luke Skywalker, depending on what episode you're watching, was replaced by Wooden versus Wooden. So that's, you know, I think they need to take it back to basics in episode 7, like you say, Kevin, and just wind it back in again and have it about the characters. Yeah.
I think it's in good hands.
Yeah.
It is. I was trying to think today about some of the things I would like to see. We're obviously not going to see it in the JJ version, but I kind of like, you know, with the whole JJ thing, like, I would like a flashback. You know how, like, when Star Trek was coming out, and in all the old Star Trek movies and the Star Trek TV show, you kept on hearing about the Kobayashi Maru. You always heard how William Shatner, Captain Kirk, cheated the but you never saw it.
Aye.
And then JJ showed us that, and it was brilliant. Like, it's a throwaway scene, but it was brilliant to the geek, to the nerd, to the people out there who care.
Same with the McCoy bit where he sits down next to Kirk and goes, "All I've got left in my bones."
Yeah.
I remember you and me just doing the fucking little geeky giggle at that bit.
Aye, probably the only two people in the cinema laughing. Yeah.
That happened a few times, to be fair.
But like I say, like, I want you. Is it too much to ask that JJ throw some of that in? Can we get a flashback scene where we see a young Han Solo beating Lando Calrissian and winning the Falcon? Or are we going to have to wait till one of those spin-off movies to see that?
I think that'll cover, because one of the spin-offs supposedly is going to be based on Harrison Ford, isn't it? So is it going to...
See, now, that I don't like.
And how much of a movie do you want to put on that? Like, flashbacks? It's like... It
depends on what they're going to do with the spin-offs, doesn't it? Are they going to do spin-offs where it's completely, totally, 100% separate, and they can do flashback ones where you could have, well, whoever playing Han Solo, a young Han Solo, or are they going to do the spin-offs where it's separate up to a point, and then at that point they're going to want to do a shared universe?
Well, I think like Rogue One, is that going to be based around like an X-Wing squadron?
Well,
I think we need to know more about Rogue One, because you say Rogue One and you think Wedge Antilles, you think the Rogue Squadron. I mean, it could mean anything. I mean, Rogue One could be a reference to fucking Han Solo, for Christ's sake. You just don't know.
Well, I mean, it could be like apparently they're going to be releasing a book or something, or a comic or whatever that's gonna sort of bridge the gap between Return of the Jedi and this one. So it could be like Rogue One is all about, you know, hunting down fighting back the last remnants of the Emperor, the Empire, that kind of thing. Maybe. I really don't know.
We're bringing out a book that's going to span 30 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be totally honest with you. When it comes to all the Star Wars rigmarole, I've been staying away from trying to read anything, because I don't want to have that Phantom Menace experience where you hype yourself up and you build it up to be something like it's gonna be, you know, this generation's fucking Jurassic Park, and then you go into it and you're so bloody disappointed. So I've been staying away for like the Force Awakens. I've been staying away from as much as possible. I like watching Mr. Sunday Movies videos. If it's about Star Wars, I don't watch it. I just don't watch it, because I want to go into it and I want it to be amazing, and I want JJ to just keep up that epicness that he just brings every time.
But imagine how much better the movies would have been if they hadn't killed off Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul. They were the two best characters in that for me, and they both died.
Qui-Gon I couldn't really give two fucks about because it's Liam Neeson. However, Darth Maul, they went round on the wrong road with that, like.
Would they get after it?
Count Dooku and General Asma.
May as well just call
They could have, with Darth Maul, they had a good enough villain that he should have been in all three of those movies.
Yeah.
And he should have been the one that turned Anakin to the dark side, when Anakin just got so fucked off that he eventually killed the hell out of him and then turned to the dark side kind of thing. Or whatever. Or
You'd like to think as well, if Darth Maul was still on the scene, Anakin's transformation would have happened well before the end of the second movie.
What I actually thought of was, if Darth Maul had still been around, was have Darth Maul kill Padme.
Oh.
And then...
But it's so much better if she dies in childbirth, because she just
giving up the will to live. Yeah, that is a better death, Kev. That is
It's a way better death.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how everybody should die in movies, just giving up, the will to live.
Like we did when we were watching it.
Aye.
I don't know, it might have been good seeing her head getting sliced off by a lightsaber.
No, I just thought, give him a proper... I mean, fair enough, okay, episode 3 was easily the best of the prequels. Easily. And, I still think Hayden Christensen was given a bad rap for that. I think with episode 3 anyway, he did a better job in episode 3 than people give him credit for.
I like Hayden. I always quite liked Hayden. Okay, he's a fanny in the second film, but I always liked Hayden. He's a good actor, I think.
I always liked the scene.
You have to blame the director for that.
Well, yeah, and the writer
we're
of it.
always going to blame the director, because fucking George Lucas is a tool.
The scene where he's rescued his mum on Tatooine, and he's telling Padme about it, and he's going, I killed every single one of them, and not just the men, the women and the children too. I hate them, and it's got the on the background. I fucking love that scene in episode 2.
It is pretty awesome, but
that's what it could have been. That's what it could have been about. It's just, but then you can't sell toys with all dark shit like that. So I mean, are they going to do flashbacks? Do you reckon, or are they gonna? I
think we have to
stick with. See, I think they're going to try and do an Avengers type universe where they're going to have episodes 7, 8, 9, probably 10, 11, 12. They're going to have the individual spin-off movies or whatever you want to call them in between, and I reckon they're going to bring the spin-offs into the episodes.
So is that you saying that because Disney now owns Marvel and Lucasfilms, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be in Star Wars?
Yes, Iron Man in episode 8. That's what we want.
Is Iron Man going to be Rogue One?
Ooh.
No, personally, I hope they keep the spin-off separate. Have them linked in somehow, but I think it'll just become too cluttered.
I hope the spin-offs are separate as well. But
so if they were going to do any spin-off in the Star Wars universe, what would we want? What would 365 want from a spin-off Star Wars movie?
Oh, definitely a Han Solo.
Han Solo.
Prequel kind of thing.
Han Solo wouldn't bother me. I like Han Solo in those original movies, I do, but if you don't have Harrison Ford playing Han Solo, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
And he's too old to be
If you're going to do a Han Solo movie, you need a young Han Solo.
Yeah, but I don't want that. I don't want somebody playing a young Han. I know Chris Pratt is a fantastic
that's what I was
actor.
going to say there, Kev. The only guy you're going to get in a Han Solo movie at the moment is Chris Pratt.
But it looks like he's already going to play a young Harrison Ford in the Indy prequel.
Yeah,
so...
And apparently George Lucas is going to be directing it if he's in it.
Oh my god.
Not George Lucas. Sorry, not George Lucas.
Spielberg.
Yep. Jesus. Bloody hell.
You don't want to be mixing up your Jews, Christ.
Fucking hell, Chris. Did you just say that? What I thought you just said there?
Yeah, you did.
Wow.
Oscar Schindler never mixed his up.
No.
So yeah, I don't necessarily want to see Chris Pratt playing Han Solo. If I'm totally honest with you, I don't mind him playing Indy. That's good. I'm good with that. But a young Han Solo, nah. And if you don't have Chris Pratt playing a young Han Solo, I just don't want to see a young Han Solo.
Nah, no.
Or you'll end up with Freddie Highmore.
I know, but how could you get that?
No.
Run about the flashbacks, but then you would have somebody else playing them. So
Nah.
you're kind of like contradicting yourself in a way by saying, I didn't want
In a
someone
way-
else to play him, but I would.
In a way, I am.
Flashback.
But I want to see some fan service. I want to see a lot of fan service, if I'm honest. Like, JJ took on Star Trek, and there was a hell of a lot of fan service in there. There was just so much. He put all the lines in that you wanted to hear. He put all the scenes in that you wanted to see. And I want to see that in Star Wars. I want to see JJ go, hey, remember those original 3 movies that you fucking loved as a child? Here's a movie you can love as an adult.
I know, but the thing with Star Trek, they stuck with the original cast characters. This is bringing in a whole new bunch of characters. The 3 amigos, as I might as well call them, they've only got a part role in the movie.
I think they're going to be bigger parts than you think, though.
See,
I would agree with the first movie anyway.
I think Skywalker's going to have a big part. I think Luke's going to have a big part.
He's probably been in fucking exile for the last 30 years or something. He's
going to be Ben Kenobi.
And just being a loner like Yoda.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm good with that as well.
I know, but if that's the case, there's not much backstory for 30 years if all he's done is went and sit on a planet and train.
I'd quite like to see, like, you know how you're saying, like, he's been a loner, he's been in exile, he's a hermit now, he's been Ben Kenobi. I'd like to see, like, a twisted as fuck, like, Luke Skywalker. Like, I would love to see, you know that scene in the trailer when you see he goes the dark side, and then, like, the lightsaber just like, and everybody spunks their pants. Like, I would like that to be, I'd like that to be Luke Skywalker.
No, I wouldn't have Luke Skywalker turn to the dark side.
I'm not saying have him a Sith, but have him being like his technology now, like he's the only one who has the Force now. Have his technology being like crude as shit, so like he's just turned all twisted as fuck. Actually, yeah, make him a Sith.
You're not going to have Luke Skywalker as a Sith.
Why not though?
You're going to have Luke Skywalker as basically, as Ash said, Ben Kenobi, where he's the only one with the Force now.
He's upset
and
banging his sister when he should be. So he left and went to hide, but I seen a poster advertising episode 7 today, and you seen it with the lightsaber.
No.
Lightsaber's like upside down, stuck into a stone, like Sword in the Stone. But it does look pretty snazzy.
So
but is that just a fan poster?
No, it's an official poster.
Right.
So is that like JJ paying service to Disney?
Maybe. There was Merlin in the background.
Yeah. I don't know what I want from Star Wars. I just don't fucking want to be disappointed.
I want a Darth Vader movie.
But he's dead.
But we've just said any movie.
Right, any movie.
The whole.
Oh, in that case,
if you were going to have any movie at all, that's what I mean. I want a Darth Vader movie, because you didn't see Darth Vader. You know, you saw Hayden Christensen turn into him, and at the end he was like crossing his arms with the Emperor and looking at the Death Star being built. And then in episode 4, he's a twat to Princess Leia and stuff and what have you. But you didn't really see him being a fucking badass. Where's Darth Vader the badass?
Yeah,
I want to see a Darth Vader movie.
I think for me though, if we're going with any movie from the realm like from the movies and that, I think Jar Jar deserves his own standalone.
Oh, that would be just immense.
Just like the destruction of Gungan City and stuff like that. See how he got banished in that. And you know, all that kind of
your Jar Jar impression. That was amazing. That was fucking awesome.
Whatever.
So we're going to have like the Jar Jar version of like the Patriot, where he's, you know.
The Patriot. Oh, no. Totally. I'd watch that. I'd watch Jar Jar and the Patriot. That's maybe something.
You have to
maybe
that's
that's
something
something we should do. Maybe we should do like a whole episode where we just sit and like we take classic films that we love and just replace Jar Jar as the main actor, and like how good it would be. But Jar Jar as the Patriot, that works for me.
So is Jar Jar in like Jaws now?
Never that.
Jar Jar in Gangs of New York now?
As who?
As Jar Jar as Bill the Butcher.
Totally. I was totally going to do a Jar Jar impression there, but I don't think I'd pull it off quite as good as Daniel Day-Lewis could.
Daniel Day. You know what? I would still, if Daniel Day-Lewis did Jar Jar, I'd still watch it.
I got a quick question for you though. With JJ bringing out, I'm pretty sure I've asked you this, with JJ and with LucasArts and Disney and Marvel and Robert Downey Jr. bringing out a new Star Wars kind of franchise, are we going to get a Fanboys 2?
No.
No.
No. I don't
Just
think we
flat
are.
out no.
No, I don't think we are.
Why?
It would be good, but it just wouldn't have the same appeal as the first one. First one, had no intentions of watching it. I watched it and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Aye.
But it's like watching a second one, it'd be like, well, I already know this. I've already seen it.
But they would be like another like 10, 15 years older.
I know, but...
Well, for a start,
out.
they would have to bring it out pretty much now, or, between now and December.
Why?
Because the to me the joke at the end, what if the movie sucks and we know the movie's going to suck? That's not going to work again. So that they would have to do something different with it. Otherwise it's just the same movie again. So they would have to bring it out before, where they're queuing up for episode 7 at the end.
Well, maybe you could have like Windows. Windows never quite lost the faith. Like, even though Phantom Menace was terrible, he never quite lost the faith in Star Wars. So when the new movie's coming out, he's trying to talk the rest into going to see it.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Nah.
Because you could have interesting conversations where Windows is like, it wasn't that bad, and he's all like defending them, and nah, you're right, it wouldn't work.
It's not going to happen. I love Fanboys, as you know. I love the movie. Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Nah, I'd like to see a standalone movie based around when there was multiple Sith, like the old Republic kind of times.
Yeah.
When it was hundreds of Jedi against hundreds of Sith. I'd love to see a movie based back then.
Yeah, aye.
Instead of just like one Sith and one Master. It would be immense if you could see the battles on a grand scale. Like 500 Jedi gone into battle against 500 Sith. It would be immense.
When you say that, like, there's enough like graphic novels and comics and books of Star Wars out there that have never really ever been touched when it comes to the cinematic outings, and maybe that's what they need to do.
Aren't they saying that all of the books and all that aren't canon anymore?
But that's what I mean, like, for your standalone movies, take them away from the canon and just have them, like, let's rip out from the comics, the novels, and let's do some cool shit.
I'd love to see a Knights of Old Republic movie. That would be brilliant, aye.
Like, while everybody's champing at the bit to see the next Star Wars, let's make a standalone movie that's got nothing to do with the trilogy.
Yeah, I mean, you could take some risks in there and do a Gungan movie for the bairns.
Be like Battle of Endor. You could have like the Battle of Gungan.
Mm-hmm. Or a Gungan holiday special.
No, we ain't going there. So the whole Star Wars thing, we pretty much, we want to see some good standalone movies. I mean, I just want to see JJ do, I was going to say Jar Jar. I just want to see JJ do a really fucking good, I want to see a kick-ass Star Wars, and I'm looking forward to December, because we're going to get that.
I think we are, yeah.
We are going to get that. I mean, that trailer, you've got no doubt it's in the right hands.
Oh, there's nobody better at the sci-fi franchise at the moment than JJ. There's no disputing that.
No, there's not.
But I just hope he's had 100% control over it, instead of producers saying, oh, I would prefer this and I would prefer that. I hope he just said, fuck you, I'm making the movie I want to make.
I think he's at the point now where he can say that.
But you know what, I think with Disney being involved, they don't really seem to be doing that with Marvel and
well, they're not.
That kind of thing. So I don't really see any reason to think that they would do that with Star Wars. What's the point of bringing in a name like JJ if you're not going to let him do the movie that he wants to do?
Exactly.
Aye, but there's always financiers who think, I'm putting the money there, I should have my say.
Yeah, but it's Star Wars. There's no way in hell that movie's not going to make money.
Oh, no, I mean, that movie could be the worst movie ever made. It's going to make serious fucking bank.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Phantom Menace, like one of the worst movies ever, but let's be honest, when it comes down to grossings and box office and that, it didn't fail.
No, just everywhere else.
Critically and respectfully, it failed. Right, so lads, we're gonna get round to this. The Batman. Batman versus Batman versus Batman versus Batman. Oh, the winner! I can't believe it. I tried to fix it so badly. Number 1, Adam West.
So wait a minute. Do you want to explain how the point system worked?
So the point system was actually a lot more simple than you will actually believe. Basically, you had to name your top 3, right? So whoever you put at number 1 got 3 points, whoever you put at number 2 got 2 points, whoever you got number 3 got 1 point.
That's pretty much the point system that I bloody said to you.
It's the 365 point system.
Dear me.
So that's how it worked out. Adam West came out on top with 18 points. Unbelievably, Christian Bale came out second with 15. I know you used to try to rig it for Keaton.
What a fuckfix.
But Keaton came in at 3 with 14.
I'm happy with Adam West. Adam West is the 365Flicks Batman of choice.
Yes.
There you go.
Also, when it comes down to the social media, Bruni got it absolutely spot on. Obviously, I won't be telling him that.
No.
Yeah, I won't let him know that. So, that's it for episode 8 of the 365Flicks podcast, where we decided Adam West is number 1. We figured out that Kevin Smith's going to be making Clerks 2, Clerks 3 and Mallrats 2, so I'm happy as shit about that. We all have high expectations, but, you know, Star Wars, it's going to be the shit. It's going to be the shit. And let's be honest, they can do whatever they want with it.
That'll be fine.
For the next episode, you have got to watch Biodome.
What's it called again?
Biodome.
Biodome. And you can tell by the way we're talking about it that you're going to love that movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy watching it again.
I'm going to enjoy watching it again because I fucking love it. It's got Baldwin in it. So we'll end it there.
Kev.
Enjoy that one, Chris.
Kev, you're on the night.
You are now leading the world of Musings of a Geek podcast network. Stay geeky, my friends.